Okay, guys, first fight review that I've done. I just wanted to get straight into the swing of this. I'm not sure like what different fights I'm gonna do yet, but I did watch the Fisher Babic fight, all 1 minute of it that was on. I actually didn't watch it last night or this morning for me because the football was on, and because the football is at such an ungodly hour in Australia, I decided to get up and watch a replay without knowing the result. Which is a dangerous game. So I can't look at my phone, I can't do anything. And so I didn't watch the fight live, but I did watch the very, very short highlight video. It was quite funny when I clicked on the DAZN highlights. It was like a 12-minute video, but like the fight literally lasted, I think, about 45 seconds. It was not, it was not competitive at all. I don't think that many people thought it was a particularly competitive fight. I mean, I don't know. I'm just coming back into the swing of this. I don't really look at Twitter that much anymore. I will get back into that world, even though it's an absolute cesspit. But I will be back in boxing Twitter in the near future, which I'm so excited about. But anyway, this fight was one that I saw was announced a while ago. I wasn't particularly optimistic it would be super competitive, and that's exactly what happened. Babic got completely wiped out. I think he survived for about 45 seconds, but it was a really strange one because, you know, he's the smaller guy. He's never been a big heavyweight. He's always been more of a cruiserweight. I know there was always talks of him going and trying to win a title at bridgerweight. But to be honest, I don't see him winning a title in any significant title in any weight division. Babic sort of built his whole career on this savage sort of alias, and he was good fun to watch at a certain point against a certain level of opposition. He'd go in and he'd, you know, try and blast them out, but he never really showed a great level of skill or technique. It was always about aggression, physicality, using his gas tank so that he could just sort of overwhelm and swarm opponents. And the guys that he sort of took out were never of particularly high level. No offense to any of those fighters. You know, they're all obviously a lot better than I am at boxing, but you know, as an objective observer, Babic had never really beat anyone. Jonny Fisher, on the other hand, he looks like a good prospect. He's big, he's strong, and he's hungry. He's a young guy. The thing about this fight is we just don't really learn anything new about him, in my opinion. We already know that he can punch, and if anybody stands there right in front of him the way that Babic did, they're going to get iced. It's as simple as that. I'm interested to see how he develops, though, Jonny Fisher, and it'll be a real test for the Matchroom team because it's going to be difficult to match him. You know, guys are not going to want to get in there with him who don't have the ability to survive. I do think he'll probably have tougher tests against decent journeymen who know how to go in there and sort of negotiate a fight like that with a young prospect. But Babic tonight, I don't understand what he was thinking when he went in the ring with that sort of style. I think he put a lot of pressure on himself probably by, you know, coming out with this savage mantra and trying to be this guy who, you know, blasts everybody away. And tonight he sort of tried to go headfirst straight at Jonny Fisher, and it didn't go well for him, as you could see. But the strange thing about it was when Fisher let that 1-2 off that essentially knocked him down or sort of stunned him on his feet, Fisher then landed a few more blows, and then Babic went down after that. It was really weird because Babic just did not move his feet at all. He was coming in, he was trying to move his head a little bit, but you know, Fisher wasn't finding it hard to sort of connect with any part of Babic's body, really. And he did that. He sort of let a few big shots go, just sort of on the arms, found his range really quickly. And then he hit him with a clean 1-2, and Babic just sort of stood there. His legs froze up a wee bit, and he got completely wiped out. I don't know where Babic goes from here. He's obviously at a certain level, and he's always going to be an exciting guy if he chooses to go into fights with that sort of attitude where he's kind of like, let's just go, let's just fight. But you can't do that against a strong guy like Fisher, big, strong heavyweight like Fisher. I don't know how good Fisher is yet either. I don't know what level he's at. You know, you watch a fight like that and he hasn't had to do anything special. You know, he hasn't had to set any traps. He hasn't had to control the range, particularly with his jab. He hasn't really had his footwork tested. I thought at least he might have to move his feet a little bit and we might see a bit more guile in that area of his game. But yeah, to be honest, it was a really, really easy win for Jonny Fisher. He's not going to have an easier win than that. And Babic pretty much stood there like a punching bag. So It doesn't teach me anything new about Fisher's power, though. I want to say that very clearly. You know, anyone who stands there like that against him, any fighter in the world stands there like that against Jonny Fisher, they're going to get knocked out. Very simple. I don't know where Babic goes from here, as I was saying a minute ago. Some people are saying maybe drop down in weight, but I was watching a couple videos earlier today, and I was watching G-Man, actually, who a lot of you will know, and he made the sort of point that they're even quicker down there and they'll land even more shots on you. They're not small punches at cruiserweight, so I don't really pay attention to Bridger weight. He can go there if he wants. I know Okoli's got a belt there at the minute, but it's not a division I'm particularly interested in. So I sort of just think of heavyweight, cruiserweight, and yeah, I don't see any benefit in him moving down. He might be able to be in some fun fights still, but tactically he needs to develop a bit more guile and a bit more nous in his style. Jonny Fisher, he's going to be difficult to match. I saw he called out Dave Allen after the fight. Dave, I wouldn't say he's a friend of mine, but he's someone I like very much, who I've worked with in the past. He's on his own comeback path right now, and I've seen... You never really know with Dave what's truly going on, because he said himself over the years, you know, you think his life's one way, and then, you know, he's got a bunch of craziness going on around him. He's never really lived the life of a fighter, but it truly seems this time he is doing it. I think becoming a family man's really agreed with him. Look, I really like Dave. He's such a good person. You know, he's always had heaps of time for me. And, you know, I do think he's got more ability than he's been able to show. I know he was very athletic when he was younger. I know he had a short build-up in boxing, and I know he sparred with some of the best fighters out there. You know, the guy's done, if not tens, hundreds of rounds with Anthony Joshua and the other Olympic guys back then. And he's been in with some really tough fighters, you know, with very little training, from the sounds of things. I saw a brilliant podcast. I think it's called Boxing Now. I don't remember the name of it, but it was Boxing... UK Boxing TV, I think it was called, and they had a great interview with Peter Fury and Dave and Ricky Hatton, and some of the stories you were hearing about Dave on there were just epic. But you know, if Dave can get his act together, and if Dave can get in shape, stay fit, get the rounds under his belt, get sharpness, you know, I wouldn't mind the Babic fight as a sort of a warm-up, but to fight Jonny Fisher and beat Jonny Fisher, that's going to be a tough ask for him, just because of the difference in age, the difference in, you know, the way Fisher's lived a life, and he's quite a lot bigger than Dave as well. But I'd be keen to see it if Dave can get himself in shape, get some wins under his belt, and get his career back on track. But yes, that is my thoughts on that occasion. I didn't think the first video back would be about Jonny Fisher and Alen Babic. I want to talk mostly about bigger stuff, that's more in the public eye, but this was a fight that I thought I'd talk about because I did see it. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought in the comments down below. Hit subscribe if you think this is a channel worth following, and I'll catch up with you all very soon.